In this video, we're going to talk about whether you should be using Google or Facebook to grow your real estate investing business. This is a question we get a lot. There are pros and cons to both sides, and in this video, we're going to really look at the cost difference and the timing difference between both of these two platforms. Let's get into it. So let's start by pulling up an example of something that you would love your business to rank for if you were trying to go the Google route. So I'm going to pull up a tool called Ubersuggest right here. And again, we're looking at keywords that you'd want to rank your website for on Google if you're trying to get customers that way. So I've typed in "sell my home fast" on this tool. And what this does is going to tell me how many people are searching for this across the country, how difficult it is to rank for, and what would be the average cost per click. And if you're seeing these numbers here, this is troubling, very troubling. So I typed in "sell my home fast," which this is absolutely a keyword that real estate investors would love to be ranking at the top of Google for. Shows that nationwide, there are around 1,000 people who search for this. If that sounds big to you, keep in mind there's like 400 million people in the United States. So 1,000 is like a crazy tiny fraction of those people. That is not a high volume at all. And for some reason, it's saying the SEO difficulty is easy. That's interesting. I'll look into that. But the cost per click, so if you're trying to pay for these clicks on Google, they're estimating an $84 cost per click. And it's typically about 1 to 15 to 20. Let's say 1 out of 20 clicks will convert to an actual lead. And then, 1 out of 20 to 30 to 40 leads will convert to a sale. So if you do that math based off of this estimation here, it's a very, very high cost per acquisition for a deal. And it looks like that it's trending downward even as well. There's fewer searches happening now around "sell my home fast." This could all be, pandemic related. Who knows? So let's dive into some other keywords. Let's maybe do let's do a local one. Let's do like Orlando. So, okay, "sell my home fast" in Orlando, 30 people searching for it every month. So there's like no information here to go off of. Let's try another one. "Sell my home fast." Let's dig into some of these. "Sell my house fast." Okay, "sell my house fast" has more people, 5,400 searches. Still a cost per click of $60. Let's drill into that one a little bit more. You see some of the top, and here's who you're competing with in these terms: HomeLight, OfferBad, We Buy Ugly Houses, Zillow. Most of these, number 1 through 5, these are like billion-dollar brands or close to it. Number 5, they're a little bit more scrappy, but it's expensive and it's competitive. Not to say that this doesn't work. There's obviously a lot of people who make it work. Carrot talks a lot about it. They have pretty decent templates to getting you ranking. But this is a cool tool to come in and do some research to see how difficult is it to rank. This difficulty thing, I don't feel like is very accurate, because it's kind of implying that you could rank for "sell my home fast" relatively easily, which I just don't think that's totally true. I'm not sure exactly how they get that number. But let's now go and see, like, let's say you still wanted to go the SEO route. How long would it take you to actually rank your website? So according to this article from Neil Patel, which he's like the absolute authority on all things SEO, not just for real estate. He's like the guy. So they compiled millions of data points and kind of crunch it together to see how long does it take. You've got a new page or a new website, what's the highest you can get it to rank, and how long does it take you to get there? And the average time, when you're doing everything exactly right, like you're playing the Google algorithm perfectly, the average time to rank in the first 1 to 3 spots for a given search term is about 100 days, 3.39 months. And to do that, to make it to that position in 100 days, you have to have the perfect blend of backlinks and great content, and your website has to be structured according to all of Google's algorithmic demands. which I'm not, I'm not an expert in that. There's definitely people who are, but to me, that's a lot of time to maybe get to the top of keyword. And this is for one. This is talking about for one keyword, like a specific search phrase. So like sell my house fast in Jacksonville. So if that's your keyword that you want to rank for, it's going to take you on average 100 days for that specific keyword, assuming you've done everything right. Now, the benefit, though, to be totally fair, is that if you do that, then it's free, right? If you get it there, it is free, meaning you're not paying per click, but and that's kind of organic traffic that could come to you, but that does not mean that it's necessarily free to get there, because most likely you will have paid somebody to do that for you, either to design the website or to write the content. And it's really not going to work well if you're using the same content that 100 or 1,000 other real estate investors are doing. So you need unique stuff for your website. You need to be structured perfectly. You need designs. And then there's, of course, your time, and just how much does that 100 days of no leads and no traffic actually cost to your business? So free is relative. Free is kind of misleading as well. Now, I'm obviously biased towards Facebook ads, because that's how we built our business. We spend thousands on Facebook for ourselves, and we manage Facebook ads for about 200 to 300 real estate investors at a time. So we love Facebook. So let's look at some Facebook results really quick. So here's one of our ad campaigns. And remember, when we're looking back at these, let's just remember these click costs, okay? $84, $60, $60, $51, $87 for a cost per click in a lot of these different search terms. Now, I'm going to assume that these are dramatically off. I'll even say that they're 2 to 3 times higher than maybe a super pro could get. So let's say that you're able to get $20 to $30 clicks in some of these markets. Let's go compare that to some of the real-time results we're seeing from Facebook ads. So these are all campaigns that we're running for real estate investors across the country right now. And I know there's a lot of numbers here, but we have this results column which shows how many leads that investor has received. And then we have the cost per result. Like, what did it cost for a homeowner to fill out the survey and become a motivated seller lead for that investor? And we see this one, let's see. Okay, last 7 days, this client received 18 leads at a cost of $32 per submission, comparing that to $20 to $30 to $40 per click. Remember that. This is an actual lead. This one, 13 leads for $57, another 13 at $57. This guy is doing really well. 12 leads at only 18 bucks a pop. That's awesome. Another 12 at 18, or another 12 at 20, sorry. 11 leads at $22, and on and on. I want to try and find some more expensive ones. Like, okay, here we go. So 3 leads here and $76 per lead. That might seem really expensive, but remember the comparisons. These ones are around 80, 80, 80. Now we're back down to 28s. And we do have some leads here. Look, these guys spent $104 for a lead. That might seem crazy expensive. That might seem really expensive if you're not anchoring it against what is the alternative. What does it cost to generate these leads on other platforms? What is the time investment required for SEO? And what is the cost per click requirement for Google AdWords? The Facebook alternative to Google is still, I think, 9 times out of 10, maybe 99 times out of 100 is going to be more cost effective. And those leads absolutely convert into deals. We personally have hundreds of examples of homes going under contract from these leads. And you can look all over the internet. There's plenty of real estate investors who use Facebook ads to grow their business. And there's lots of people closing deals. But there's also lots of people who use Google, both paid and organic. So I hope what this video is showing you is that there's pros and cons to both. Like the pros to Google is that there's probably a slightly higher motivation for those leads. Where on Google or on Facebook, they might be a little bit less knowledgeable, but they're significantly cheaper, and you can get so many more of them when you use the same budget, dollar for dollar. And whether you're using Google ads or Facebook ads, both of those are going to get you leads a heck of a lot faster than SEO, where you build a website and you hope and pray that it ranks. Now, I will show you an exception. There is a place where I see that Google is by far a better option in some cases than Facebook. And that's when it comes to the map pack or just the Google My Business listings. So I've typed in sell my house fast, and I've done this locally. So of course we get all of our ads here, and the real winner is this guy right here. You can't see my mouse, but this sell your house fast section on the right. This is a local investor here who set up his Google My Business listing really well. He's got a couple reviews here, and this ranks for that keyword, and so he gets this really dominant position. And this is what I recommend. Like, instead of spending all your time trying to figure out the SEO of your website, figure out your Google My Business listing is where I think you'll have a far better ROI. And these oftentimes can get ranking a lot faster than the traditional route. Like these sites over here, OfferPad, We Buy Ugly Houses, Zillow, these guys have spent a lot of money and time to get those top positions. And it's probably doing really well for them, but they've spent tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, in some cases, probably millions of dollars to get to that position. So Google My Business is like the underdog. This little section here is a great way to take advantage of the higher intent traffic that you could get from Facebook or from Google. Otherwise, in most cases, I just recommend using Facebook ads to generate motivated sellers. You could still have your SEO going in the background, but who knows how long it's going to take and how much volume you're actually going to get. The final thing to consider, the differences between these platforms, is that Google is people who are searching for something, and Facebook, you're showing them something that they might be interested in. So it's a very different methodology where there's a very small fraction of homeowners who are searching for sell my house fast or keywords like that. But there's a lot of homeowners that are hanging out on Facebook who could still benefit from speaking to an investor. They just don't really know it. They don't understand it. Most people don't know this is an option to them. So the amount of people who are actively searching for your solution may be very low, but the amount of people who actively need your solution is significantly higher, and they just need your help because they don't know this thing exists. They don't know there's options to sell their home quickly. So you have to educate. And that's where Facebook is just by far a better option, in my opinion. I am a Facebook advertiser. But, that being said, do your own research. Look up these articles about the timing it takes to rank something. Look up average cost per click in your market. And if it makes sense to do Google, go for it. Otherwise, we'd be happy to help you with Facebook.